everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica, and today I have a very fun, unique, and hopefully entertaining video for you. Okay, so let me give you some context to how I came up with this idea. So about a year ago, I was binging the Immortals After Dark series by Freyleyce. And if you know me, I binge series. If I really get into the first book, I will go through the entire series because I want to know what happens. And specifically because I wanted to read Monroe. But I got stuck in one book towards the end. Most of them were 5-star reads for me, simply because I love Freyleyce Cole's writing. She can write her butt off. She's just fantastic. But the thing is, with this one particular book, and I do not remember the name of the book, because I sort of blocked it out. And it wasn't a her thing, it wasn't the book thing, it was definitely a me thing. Because in the book, there's two characters. The female character had my sister's name. The male character had my brother's name, and they were doing bedroom things on page. And I was like, no, too familial, and no. Anyway, so I sat on this for a while, and then obviously I started this channel. Right around the time I was starting this channel, I was listening to a video by Freyleyce. I hope I said your name right. She did a video. Okay, so my light keeps dying. So so I was listening to Freyleyce's video, and she got all tripped up over a character's name named Jim. She was just like, really? A hero named Jim? No way. She did not like it. It was hysterical. And I will be linking that video down below because I was cackling over that. That was priceless. Anyway, and then earlier this week, I was reading a book that was recommended by Caitlin. And I'm not going to tell you what book because I'm going to tell you why I really had to DNF this. It was a erotic book, and the female heroine name was my daughter's name, and that was no. So that's how I came up with the idea of doing a book recommendation based upon characters' names. So if you have these characters' names of your brother or your sister or your mom or your son or daughter or even your dad or your uncle or whoever, these books may not be for you, but these books are fantastic and I recommend them despite the characters' names. So I decided to frame this book recommendation video around the characters' names from a series that I found last year and that I just truly love. It was one of my favorite series that I found last year. And it's not Immortals After Dark series because that's just too long to do this video in. Okay, so without further ado, so the first book in this series that I am highlighting, the hero and the heroine's name is Twisted Love by Ana Huang. I really did actually love pretty much every book in the series. This isn't my favorite, but I actually enjoyed Alex's journey in this book. So this was a solid read. Ana Huang is an incredibly good writer. She knows her stuff. So she crafted a story that I really enjoyed. So for the book that I would like to recommend with the hero's name is Alex is Loved Hacked by Penny Reed. So Alex in Loved Hacked is grumpy. So this is Grumpy Sunshine. He is younger than Sandra, so this is age gap. He is also secretive, hostile, and he thinks Sandra's doing something horrible to all these men because she never gets past a first date at this restaurant that he works at because she always makes him cry, and Sandra hasn't had a kiss in 2 years, and she's like, what? She's a psychologist. And so she ends up psychoanalyzing all her dates. Anyway, and that's how they meet. And then they end up falling in love, and it is fantastic. I read this back in January of 2022, and it was one of the best books in the knitting in the city series. And so next is Ava Chin. And for my recommendation for Ava is Dear Ava by Elsa Madden Mills. This is the rich and popular sharks at a prestigious ivy-covered Camden prep. Once upon a time, I wanted to be part of their world until they destroyed me. The last thing I expected was an anonymous love letter from one of them. Please, I hate every one of those rich jerks for what they did to me. The question is, what shark is my secret admirer? So you have to check trigger warnings for this because it's sexual assault, date rape, drug addiction, homelessness, depression, suicide, classism, talk of suicide.
Yeah, kitty. Hi, Lulu.
Push paw.
How's my Lulu bells?
I know you too, my baby girl. No, I know. You should be Lulu bells, so I love you too. Oh, I know. Can I go now? Can you go now? Can you say bye, Lulu? Are you recording?
My little bells. And my bellies. Love your hugs. Sorry about that interruption. So where was I? Okay. Yeah, the hero. And I'm not going to give you his name because I want you to read this. And honestly, I have read this 3 times. I read it first in June of 2020 and then March of 2021 and then in January of 2023. No, I actually read it in December of 2022 because I cut my reading month off on the 15th of December because of the holidays and I don't want to, I'd rather just reread during those couple of weeks. Anyway, so back to Dear Ava. There's this one scene because she's in the dorms and he's trying to protect her because there's this guy who actually raped her. And he's still there. She doesn't know who he is and he attacked her. And there's this night where it's like prank night at the dorm and there's this whole scene with wild cats, water balloons, and Rick Astley, and you have to read this book to find out how fun that scene is. But he is a pining hero. He definitely has demons, and they had to grow up and they had to heal separately before they could heal together. It's one of those type of books and it's fantastic, and I highly recommend Dear Ava. So after Twisted Love is Twisted Games. This I think is my favorite because oh my gosh, I love Freyleyce Larson and Princess Bridget. It is like, it's the dirty version of Princess Diaries 2 and I'm all over that one. Anyway, so when I was looking at the name Reese and Bridget, there were some contemporaries that had those character names, but when I think of Freyleyce Larson, the name Reese, there's only one Reese for me, and that is Reese Winterbourne, because oh my gosh, this dude, he is book boy material. Reese Winterbourne from Marrying Winterbourne by Lisa Kleypas. He is the original and he is the best Reese character I've ever came across. I know that sounds really weird, but he is very grumpy. She has a secret. This is class difference. This is, it's sort of, I want to say it's a marriage of convenience, but you meet him in Cold Hearted Rake, and there's an accident that happened in Cold Hearted Rake, and you could feel the chemistry and the pining from Reese in Cold Hearted Rake, and then the way he takes care of his woman in Marrying Winterbourne, the way he takes care of Helen, oh my gosh. And there's this scene when they're on top of the roof of Winterbourne's, which is the department store he owns, where he gives her oh gosh, what was it? It's been a while since I've read this. I read this in 2020, in April of 2021. He gives her a garden. What's the name? I'm going to put the name down there because I cannot, it's literally just not coming to my head. But anyway, and there's this scene on there that's so sexy. Oh my gosh. But the whole book, from the very beginning to the very end, is just chef's kiss. I absolutely love this. So the other name is Princess Bridget. And I could have done a contemporary Bridget, but I am going to stick with my historicals because I love my historicals. And I am going to recommend Lady Bridget's Diary, which is a retelling of Bridget Jones's Diary and Bridget Jones's Diary of a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, which is one of my favorite novels of all time. So, for clarification, Marrying Winterbourne, book 2 in the Ravenel series. Do not need to read the first one, but you should. Even though I didn't like the first one because I didn't like the heroine, but you got to meet Reese Larson. So read the first one before you read that one. And Lady Bridget's Diary is by Maya Rodell, and it's book 1 and Keeping Up with the Cavendishes, which is retellings of different 90s movies. Anyway, so Lady Bridget is an American who, her brother ends up inheriting a dukedom, and they move from America to England, and her sisters have to learn how to become ladies, proper English ladies, and it's very funny. This is a really solid series. There are some little hits and misses there, but Lady Bridget's Diary is not a miss. I really thoroughly enjoyed that whole book. There's a scene where they were on a boat during a garden party, and she ends up falling into the lake with her hero, whose name is Darcy, of course. Okay, so the next book in the Twisted series is pretty much everybody's favorite, I think, and that's Twisted Hate. And yes, this is an incredibly good read. The characters of Josh and Jules really do hate each other until they don't. They just sort of bang it out till they start liking each other. Anyway, so for Jules, I cannot. The first book that came to my mind when I read Jules Ambrose's name is Jules Sauveur, Resting Witch Face by Juliet Cross. This is the book 5 in the Stay Spell series. You do really should read the series in order, but you can absolutely skip book 1, Wolf Gone Wild. I know that's not everybody's favorite because of Alpha. Alpha's a bit of he's a douchebag. Okay, he's a sexist, misogynistic douchebag who actually I kind of laugh at because, I mean, it was entertaining for me when I read it. But the subsequent books in the series are so good. Anyway, and this is about Jules Sauveur and Ruben Dubois. And they were together 12 years ago. So this is second chance romance, forced proximity because they are traveling. So this is also traveling. And this is also paranormals. He is a vampire. She is a witch. She's very powerful, as is he. And this is also, they pine for each other. And they also have a lot of stuff that they have to get through. I usually do not enjoy second chance romance, but I actually enjoy this one because what she went through, what she had to deal with, I actually got. So I highly recommend Resting Witch Face. So this book, so now we all know that Josh Chen is just, I wouldn't call him my book boyfriend material because he's kind of really mean to her sometimes. And I did enjoy reading this. This is a very good read. But when I was thinking about Josh, I thought about Josh Walker from Full Measures. So Josh Walker is the college hockey star. This is new adult. It's also, you need to check trigger warnings for loss of a parent. This is a military. She December Howard is, father is in the military. He is deployed at the beginning of this book. And I can tell you that the first chapter is when she opens the door to two men in army uniforms to tell her mom and her that her father was killed in action. I think it was in Afghanistan. And she goes to buy a cake for her brother because it's her birthday. It's December's birthday. And she goes to buy a cake for her brother, not for her, because her brother wants her to have a birthday cake. And at the store, she runs into a guy that she used to go to high school with. His name's Josh Walker. He's a hockey star at CU, I think, Colorado Springs. Anyway, and they've always sort of circled around each other. She actually was dating someone at the time that they re-met, after the day they found out her dad died. That there's no cheating, so that gets resolved very, very quickly. Anyway, and this book is pretty hot. It is new adult college romance, and they have another book in the series. This is the first book in the Flight and Glory series. There's 5 books total. Their story continues in Hallowed Grounds, and they are all on audio if you want to know, with the exception, I think, of the last one. It hasn't gotten on audio yet, but I know that they are being put on audio. Anyway, so I highly recommend this. It's very emotional. Anybody who knows about Rebecca Yarros knows that she's going to wreck you emotionally and smile while doing it. And that's the way she writes. But I highly, highly recommend Full Measures. Okay, so the last book in the Twisted Lies series is Christian's book and Stella's books, Twisted Lies. Okay, so Twisted Lies is my second favorite, just behind Twisted Games. Honestly, they tend to move like, I love Twisted Lies, and then I love Twisted Games, but I also really love Twisted Hate. The only one that's consistently at the bottom is Twisted Love. So when I was thinking of Stella from Twisted Lies, Christy from Christy Reads a Lot helped me to remember Stella from the Kiss Quotient. I haven't read the Kiss Quotient since 2020, December 2020. Oh, I did forget to tell you, Full Measures, I read back in 2014 when it was first published, and then again in 2017. So Stella has autism, and well, I mean, they call it Asperger's, but they don't actually use the word Asperger's anymore. That's an archaic term for autism spectrum disorder. But she meets Michael Fan. He's Vietnamese and Swedish, and he is a escort that she hires to learn how to be intimate with people so she can find a love connection. Basically, she wants a relationship. She doesn't really know how to be with other people in a romantic way. So she hires him to teach her how to do it, to be romantic, and I guess do it. But anyway, it's a very, very, very sweet, steamy book, especially because this is traditionally published. So Helen Wong can write some pretty good steam, and I enjoyed every part of this book. And I did remember it. I just could not remember her name. I just kept remembering Michael because he was just fantastic. The last book that I will recommend based upon the name of this hero, which is Christian, and I just read it this week. It came out this week. I was having a hard time trying to find a name of a hero named Christian, because when I was trying to look it up, I kept getting Christian romances, not heroes named Christian other than 50 Shades of Grey. But I just read this book by Vi Keelan. It's called The Game. And this one, with Vi Keelan and Penelope Ward, they can go really, really good or really, really not good. The Game was really, really good. It was steamy. It was workplace romance. She was the boss. She was the billionaire. He was the star quarterback. But she was also very analytical. And he was very pining. He was pining after her. He was a cinnamon roll hero. And he was like, I am going to date you. You are going to let me be with you. He let her pick the pace in the relationship. The third act breakup was actually very well done, which is not always the case with a lot of third act breakups. I have a thing with third act breakups, but it was well done. It made sense, and it wasn't completely a breakup. It was him giving her time to process everything that had happened in the book. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this because I had a lot of fun making this. Even with the research, it was a lot of fun doing this. And I really want to do this again. So I might do it again. There are so many Griffins and Sebastians. And honestly, there's a lot of like Callies, and I found a couple of cozies in there too. So I'm kind of having fun doing this. But anyway, if you would like to see this video again, please tell me down below, and please subscribe, ring the bell, so you can get up, be informed when I decide to post. And I'm actually think I'm going to be posting 2 times a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. I will be posting and you will see that video before this video, but I am actually going to be posting a TBR video for a readathon that's happening. I've already filmed that video, but I'm going to be posting that as soon as possible so that gets out. But anyway, if you would like to, please leave me an emoji down below so I know that you've been here. You know what? Leave me a dog emoji since my Lulabelles came and decided to get some scratches. Anyway, have a good night, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.